guys? It's your boy, the Fett, here to talk some NBA basketball. I'm going to get right into it and congratulate the Cleveland Cavaliers on taking 7 games to go ahead and beat the Indiana Pacers. Probably one of the most difficult matchups in the Eastern Conference, ladies and gentlemen. The Cavaliers finally get it done. It only took 7 games. So they will now face the Toronto Raptors, who dispatched the Washington Wizards in 6 games, 4-2 over Washington. Drake set down John Wall. So we're looking at a Toronto Raptors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 2. Let's go ahead and get into this a little bit. The Raptors, they got a little more rest since they sent John Wall home golfing a little early. It's never good when you got to travel up north to Canada for a basketball series. So the Cavaliers will be having to deal with the Raptors and their home field advantage. They will be having to deal with Drake and DeMar DeRozan, Serge Ibaka, and Kyle Lowry. The Cavaliers look real worn out. You heard LeBron himself even say that he's feeling a little bit burnout right now. He's trying to go home after the game and rest up. But can we talk about LeBron? 44 points, passing Scottie Pippen, becoming the first NBA player to score 20 points in over 200 playoff games. Congratulations, LeBron. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep breaking records. Keep the haters going. And let's go ahead. Let's take the Raptors. I got the Cavs in 7 games again. Unfortunately, I think this series is going to be just like the Pacers series. I think they're going to have issues, longevity. The Cavs bench is not as deep as Toronto's. Plus, they're going to be hyped up. Drake always gets these guys hyped up. He always gets them going. I'm a little worried. LeBron's streak of not losing in the first round continues. Shout out to them. Everybody else looked like crap. In fact, Kevin Love really needs to wake up. I don't know where he's been the last series, but he didn't show any type of life until, the last quarter when LeBron was out with cramps. So the Cavs hopefully will go ahead and knock this out in 7 games. Well, at least that's what I think. I'll be rooting for them. I'm a Cavs homer, honestly. But let's talk about the other game where the Sixers took care of the Miami Heat in a quick 5-game series. They sent Dwayne Wayne on his way to maybe retirement. But the Sixers looked very good. They're very young. Ben Simmons doing Rookie of the Year type stuff. I can't say enough about them. In my honest opinion, I think they're going to go ahead and dispatch the Celtics in 6 games. The Celtics are coming off a 7-game series with the Milwaukee Bucks. Like I said, this is going to be a series to watch because you're going to see the best young talent go up against the best young coach in Brad Stevens. Honestly, I'm rooting for the Sixers because I dislike Boston. But Boston is missing 2 crucial pieces in Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. I love what they did in the first round. They were able to take the Bucks out, and you got to give the Bucks credit. They went 7 games without a coach, and they're missing probably one more player for Giannis to go ahead and become a star-studded Eastern team. I know it's not that hard in the East, but unfortunately, it is what it is. You're in the Eastern Conference right now. So, the Sixers, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, J.J. Redick, those guys, Robert Covington, they look good. They got the most rest out of anyone considering they had the shortest series in the East. It was 5 games. I really do think they're going to handle the Celtics just fine. But Brad Stevens is a master tactician. We saw what he did last year with Isaiah Thomas, and he's doing it right now with Terry Rozier. They still got Hartford, Jaylen Brown. The Celtics are still a good team, so let's not short them at all. And let's move over to the West, where we had Houston took care of business. Minnesota, they ended in 5 games. James Harden, Chris Paul, Clint Capella, just doing nasty stuff. Shut down Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins. they were able to sneak one away from the Rockets, but I think another year under Tibio in Minnesota, and maybe, like I said, they need another vet on that team, maybe some spark off the bench to be a little more competitive in an already competitive West. So Houston obviously is everyone's favorite, which is surprising considering how many Golden State bandwagon fans have joined the NBA world. It seems to be they're popping up all over. I know that there's a couple of them. They're just rotten people. These bandwagon fans, especially the ones that live in Ohio that witnessed LeBron James's greatness in bringing us a championship. But I do think Houston now matched up with New Orleans. Let's talk about New Orleans for a second. How about the upset? Sweeping Dame Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers. Nobody, I think, saw this coming. They had the easiest 4-0 done. They got the most rest. Anthony Davis. They got Rondo. They got Holiday. And they traded for Mikovic from the Bulls. They are looking good, but unfortunately right now, the New Orleans Pelicans are down 1-0 to Golden State. Golden State quickly dispatched the Spurs. Spurs went 5 games against Golden State. They were only able to pull one for Coach Pop. And the Spurs had an early postseason exit. And a lot of the blame can be laid at Kawhi Leonard. I look for him to move in free agency. I don't think him and Pop are on good terms. I don't think him and the franchise are on good terms. I honestly see them moving on from him. Now, his asking price might be a couple of draft picks, maybe a vet here and there, but it worries me that they have cleared a spot now, perhaps, if Kawhi leaves, and it could be one of the LeBron destinations. And my favorite, I finally saved some time to talk about it, OKC losing to the Utah Jazz. This was a huge upset. Everybody thought, Russell Westbrook now has Paul George and Carmelo. And you know what? It didn't help at all. So like I was saying, the Utah Jazz with Rookie of the Year finalist, pretty much Donovan Mitchell. He played like a pro all playoff series. He didn't look like a rookie. He led a Jazz team, which has Ricky Rubio, Rudy Gobert, but not much there. Maybe Derek Favors. They traded a guy, Jay Crowder, but still not enough to beat your chest. You compare the OKC with Steven Adams, Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, and of course Mr. Triple Double himself, Russell Westbrook, and they just, I don't know what it was. The big three didn't show up. Westbrook tried to do too much. I think what we saw here is, unfortunately, what I think of Russell Westbrook, period, and that is you can have as many triple-doubles as you want. It's not going to win you a championship, man. In my opinion, I don't think Russell Westbrook will ever see an NBA title, nor unless he goes and joins a team, pulls a LeBron or pulls a KD, but it's not in his DNA to do that. I think he honestly likes being the center of attention in OKC. I think he likes being number one man there, but I just don't think he has enough. I just don't think that type of player can win you an NBA championship, no matter who you put around him, because Paul George and I know Melo's on the decline, but they got Steve Adams too, so they don't have a bad bench, but they could probably upgrade it, maybe adding a couple picks, maybe adding a couple vets. I don't know their cap space situation. That'll have to be another podcast. But the Utah Jazz doing them dirty, taking them down. Rubio looked great. Like I said, Donovan Mitchell was a monster. And another thing I want to hit on, man. Russell Westbrook, dude, you got no reason to be messing with fans, dude. You get paid way too much money. You're a part of an entertainment world. You know what to expect when you come to the playoffs. I don't want to hear that, Utah, and the race card's going to get thrown out there, which if it was thrown at him, then yeah, there's no place for that in sports. But if it's just Utah Jazz fans cheering on the Jazz and heckling him and, telling him that triple-doubles ain't worth a ring, then, I think Westbrook's got to swallow his pride and be the bigger person here. They exit, but unfortunately, the Utah Jazz stumble into the Houston Rockets. They're already down a game, and honestly, Houston's going to sweep these guys. I think, they should take this progress of beating OKC and trying to build upon that for next year. OKC, you sweep them, you get a little bit of a break, and then you just sit around and you wait for New Orleans and Golden State, which, in my honest opinion, I don't think New Orleans is going to be able to keep up with fast-paced offense that is the Golden State Warriors. We're going to have to see how Curry comes back. I know, he's probably going to be on minutes restriction. They're not going to push him hard, and it's going to take a Western Conference final maybe to open up Curry. So this was my quick little podcast, guys. I just want to hit on the first and second rounds, do a little recap, give you guys what I think is going to happen. Feel free to comment on here, argue with me, give me your thoughts, and please subscribe. I love doing interactions. Maybe we can set some up. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook. Let's see what we can do. I got a lot more podcasts coming out this week in regards to the NBA, the NHL, the Ravens draft, the AFC North, and just a whole total review of the draft. Hopefully the SkiveWalker will be able to get with me. So I appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.